Tonight, trade talk in D.C.
Let's create a fortress North America.
Leaders meeting face to face, attempting to ease economic tensions. Plus, paying the price at supermarkets.
You have a choice of gas or the food.
The new report predicting higher grocery bills in 2026. And slope season nearly here.
Things are looking great. We got some really cold days ahead.
Preparations for opening day at Bowler Mountain as early as next week.
CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. The leaders of Canada, Mexico, and the U.S. will hold separate meetings tomorrow in Washington, D.C. They'll all be in the American capital for the FIFA World Cup draw. Their conversations likely won't have much to do with soccer, though. As Joy Malbon reports, the future of trade between our countries will be front and center.
The president, who prides himself as a tough trade negotiator, threw out a bomb the other day.
We'll either let it expire or we'll maybe work out another deal with Mexico and Canada.
This as marathon meetings are being held in Washington over the future of the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade agreement. The message from Canada's largest businesses and companies: improve it, extend it, but keep it.
Let's create a fortress North America where we get out of our own way, where we're not competing with each other, but we're leveraging our strengths. And I put the emphasis on energy, not only Canada's strength, but really North America's strength.
But trade tensions are high and expectations low after trade talks stalled with Canada. The president blew up over an anti-tariff Ontario TV ad, quoting Ronald Reagan. U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer says when it comes to the USMCA, all scenarios are on the table. Telling Politico, the president's view is he only wants deals that are a good deal. The reason why we built a review period into USMCA was in case we needed to revise it, review it, or exit it. And where better to ease those trade tensions than at a sporting event where President Donald Trump will play host. A little soccer diplomacy and FaceTime between Prime Minister Mark Carney and President Trump. And Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum might just smooth things over.
It's a sign that as neighbors, as we are, we understand on how to collaborate, on how to hear each other. I believe that the world is moving from free trade to a more fair trade.
The U.S. trade panel has heard from dozens of Canadian, U.S. and Mexican representatives, and they all seem to be saying the same thing, that the USMCA trade agreement is crucial to the economy. Joy Malbon, CTV News, Washington.
London's economic response team hosted a national webinar today focused on trade uncertainty.
Trade negotiations with our most important partner continue to unfold unpredictably and currently appear stalled, with business investment slowing, unemployment rising, and overall economic growth softening.
Municipal and trade leaders discussed how they can respond to trade war complications. Speakers said municipalities are relying on local strengths as well as cross-border connections to support businesses, workers, and communities.
We have a really important role in both the connections that we have in U.S. cities, but also in the on-the-ground intel that we can develop on how those decisions are being impacted within our cities.
The latest Canadian food forecast is predicting a jump in prices for 2026. Today's report suggests food costs will overtake inflation, with an average family expected to spend almost $1,000 more compared to this year. Abigail Beeman reports.
As a new and breastfeeding mom, more expensive food prices mean hard decisions for Valerie E. Madison.
Well, now even the quantity of food as well, I have to cut a little bit, to have the quality, so you have to cut it because, yes, it's just so expensive.
According to a new report, overall food prices are expected to jump between 4% and 6% next year, leaving a family of four with an annual grocery bill of $17,571 and change, up almost $1,000 from last year.
This is our 16th edition, and so we've never predicted an amount like this.
The biggest driver this year, beef, climbed 19% in the first quarter and 7.2% overall.
Because of beef prices, people are so shocked they pivot towards chicken and pork. We're also expecting prices for both chicken and pork to increase as well.
Other factors impacting food prices are the trade war, the GST holiday, and changes to the temporary foreign worker program.
10.6 million Canadians are food insecure, but those that are missing meals on a daily basis or weekly basis, those are 2.8 million. And so food banks right across the country have risen to the occasion.
Food costs have driven Paul Wang to take transit.
You have choice of gas or the food.
It's terrible because I'm on a lower income.
In addition to the U.S. trade war, the report notes other things to watch next year include the impact of more severe weather events and the new grocery code of conduct, which fully comes into force in January. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Good evening, I'm Rita Ismail. We're live tonight inside London Bath Centre on Warncliffe, and I'm joined by the Bath family and Nancy with Salvation Army. A big check presentation today from the London Bath Centre. Now, Vanessa, tell me, why are we choosing this fundraiser to get involved this year?
Well, thank you, Rita. We are choosing the fundraiser because we feel that everybody could use a little bit of a helping hand these days. Times are tough for a lot of Londoners, and any little bit we can help is great. And so we've got some toys here as well as the check that we're donating.
Yeah, the need is definitely there this time of year.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Now, Nancy, $1,500 goes a long way this time of year.
Oh, absolutely. As Vanessa said, every little bit helps. And this year, right now, we're at 5,500 children that we're going to be helping this Christmas. So every penny helps. So $1,500 is just fantastic. We really, really appreciate it.
It certainly is fantastic. And of course, there's many ways you can help. Nancy, tell us a little bit about the stops that folks can drop off toys.
We have here, of course, at the London Bath Centre. Masonville Mall is another big drop-off location. We'll be there tomorrow. And the London Fire Hall Centre on Central and Horton Street, so downtown, and they're open 24/7. And then as of Tuesday, we'll be at the JR Expo Centre, formerly known as the Agriplex. People can drop off there Monday to Friday during the day.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having us. And again, thank you for this wonderful donation. Let's get right into the weather forecast for tonight. It has been a cold one out there, and no difference right now. -8 degrees, a bit of a wind chill, and it feels close to -13. The winds are starting to ease, so that's the good news for us as we head into the night. They're out of the west right now, about 10 kilometers per hour. We did have a couple of lake effect streamers set up earlier today off Lake Huron because the winds were gusting upwards of 60 kilometers per hour out of the northwest. They're shifting tonight out of the southwest, and that means the chance for some flurries for Elgin County as we head into the night. Great news for tomorrow in terms of sunshine. We'll be under a nice mix of sun and cloud, but we do have that deep freeze that we're going to try and dig out of. And then heading into the weekend, the chance for some flurries. I'll break down the full forecast a little later in the show, but for now, we're going to send it back to you in the newsroom. Carlyle.
Thanks very much, Rita. London police are appealing for more information investigating a fire at a frat house this week. According to a media release today, a total of 6 people were injured in the fire Tuesday night. Police say 5 women were taken to hospital, where 2 of them are still receiving treatment. Police have not released any specific details on the nature or severity of the women's injuries. They say 1 man was attended to by paramedics at the scene and did not need hospital care. They're also suggesting others may have been injured in the incident who left before the emergency crews arrived. OPP say they've laid charges after a homicide last weekend in Lambton County. Police say they were called to a home near Port Franks for a disturbance where they found the body of 57-year-old Kimberly Hack. A second person was taken to hospital with serious injuries. Police say they've charged 23-year-old Justin Hack with several offenses, including second-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. They say the suspect remains in custody with a court appearance scheduled for next week. Deliberations are underway at the coroner's inquest looking into the death of a London woman who died in police custody. 28-year-old Amanda Bolt was arrested twice on the same day by London police in November 2019. She later collapsed in a jail cell and was rushed to hospital. She died there 10 days later. During closing submissions, the jury heard recommendations. Among them, officers in the cell block receive more training so they can make better decisions when assessing inmate well-being. The inquest has heard Bolt faced many complex health challenges in her lifetime. Officials with local conservation authorities are adding their voices, criticizing the provincial government's proposal to merge agencies across Ontario. As Scott Miller reports, in our region, that would mean two organizations covering massive territories.
Simply put, Ontario's conservation authorities do not like provincial plans that would see 36 conservation authorities turned into 7.
We don't support the proposal that's being put forward by the province at this time. We haven't seen any information in terms of a business case, a feasibility assessment, cost-benefit analysis, anything like that.
On October 31st, the Ministry of Environment proposed changes to the Conservation Authorities Act, which would merge the province's 36 conservation authorities down to 7 and would create a new Ontario-wide provincial conservation agency. In Midwestern Ontario's case, the new Huron-Superior Regional Conservation Authority would merge 7 conservation authorities and would stretch all the way from Bayfield to Thunder Bay.
This is bigger than the country of Belize. It's about 4 times the size of Prince Edward Island.
The ministry's goal is to speed up building permits by developing a single permitting portal, one set of rules for the entire province. On average, it takes 12.5 days to get a permit approved by Ontario's conservation authorities, say conservation officials. 5.7 days at the Maitland Valley Conservation Authority.
One could argue that it's not fragmented as much as it is fine-tuned. It's fine-tuned for the shoreline of Lake Huron, the shoreline of Lake Erie, the eastern shore of Lake Ontario, Lake Simcoe, all different environments, so different set of circumstances that you need to have fine-tuning.
The province says no conservation field staff would lose their jobs, but such massive amalgamation would move decision-making for local projects hours and hundreds of kilometers away, say conservation officials.
We're really concerned that the local voice of both the people in our community and the elected councillors that sit on our municipal councils will be lost in the noise of the bigger area.
London would be covered by the Lake Erie Regional Conservation Authority, encompassing an area from Orangeville to Windsor.
We do want to see the provincial government succeed in their plans. I mean, the provincial government wants to look after the people of the province, look after the environment, and look after the economy. And we want to be part of that, too.
Public comment on the proposed changes are open until December 22nd. If approved, the proposed boundary changes would take effect January 1st, 2027. In Midwestern Ontario, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Officials at London Health Sciences Centre say 1 year into a new program, hundreds of patients have been transitioned home sooner, freeing up valuable hospital beds. As Brian Bicknell reports, they now want to expand the program further in 2026.
Elizabeth Hutchison needs a little help sometimes.
I'm a work in progress. I'm getting better. I've been out of hospital. It will be a year tomorrow.
It was March of 2024 when Elizabeth was first admitted to LHSC with a host of medical issues. When she was finally released and sent home, the care continued, but in a different way. Now 84, she was one of the first patients to access LHSC to Home, a program to provide patients with personalized care as they transition from hospital to home.
I was so happy, but also very much weaker than I anticipated. You take for granted that you have 3 meals a day, you have nurses to look after you, and you know that's why the replacement and this program is so important.
She so needed to be home as part of her recovery. I think it was really incredibly important for her own mental health. It was time to leave the hospital. Even if she wasn't well enough, she really wanted to be home.
The hospital has partnered with nonprofit health provider SE Health for the program, supporting Supported by the province, it offers up to 16 weeks of home care services.
Our primary nurse goes in, assesses the patient. We bring in the whole interprofessional team, which includes our physiotherapist, our occupational therapist, our PSWs, our social work, dietitian. We do a fulsome assessment, and we develop personalized programs.
The home care program has helped 500 patients in just its first year. That's 500 people not taking up a much-needed hospital bed for up to 16 weeks at a time.
Our emergency department wait times can be decreased. It means that ambulances aren't waiting to offload patients into the emergency department. It means we're not canceling surgery. It is an absolute game changer for us.
LHSC hopes to expand the program by another 100 patients in the coming year. As for Elizabeth, home is where the heart is and the health is.
My family really turned up for me, and but it was nice to be able to get that extra help.
I need to get my feet up.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
LHSC leadership are addressing employee concerns after the hospital ended unlimited mental health benefits for some staff. The hospital has offered those unlimited benefits since December 2023. The cancellation was announced earlier this week by LHSC's supervisor. Benefits are capped for some employees, anywhere from $400 to $3,000 per person, depending on their collective agreement. According to LHSC officials, the cost of supporting staff mental health has amounted to millions of dollars a year to the hospital.
It is unfortunate because clearly mental health is an issue amongst healthcare workers and others, and their families for that matter. But when 80% of the staff are not accessing it, and we got some difficult choices to make as a healthcare institution, it's something that shouldn't have been done in the first place.
Staff at Bowler Mountain are optimistic about the upcoming season, planning to open the first runs next week. Sean Irvin has the latest on preparations and new technology debuting this year.
Snow machines blast the surface of Bowler Mountain. After several weeks of preparation, including some help from Mother Nature, the ski and snowboard attraction is set to open next week.
We're hoping to open on Wednesday.
In the interim, snow needs to be pushed, groomed, and tilled.
Things are looking great. We got some really cold days ahead, and it's for a much longer extended run than last year.
Thankfully, spending on snowmaking equipment over the past decade has made Bowler less susceptible to sudden temperature fluctuations.
We're okay. We can weather through some stuff now.
More operational days have translated into more money. Revenue has been used to build a new chalet in 2018 and a new equipment shop in 2024. Last year, as many as 150,000 people cut an edge on Bowler during the winter months. That's double the number of a decade ago.
The infrastructure we have in place now it's just phenomenal.
What's new at Bowler this year is enhanced online ticketing and the end of lift passes. Electronic gates are now in place.
It's designed to read an RFID ticket that's in your pocket and automatically lets you through the gate if your ticket is active and valid.
The $250,000 system is expected to reduce the number of counterfeit passes while also improving flow on the slopes.
It won't slow you down. It'll just enhance the experience.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
Coming up, trade talks with Donald Trump. North American leaders heading to Washington to discuss trade between the countries. Plus, First Nation leaders wrapping up their meetings in Ottawa. The chiefs sit down with federal ministers with national projects hanging in the balance.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We begin tonight with Ontario's
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. CTVLondon.ca, your home for news.
It's time to build a toy mountain. Make this holiday season merry for so many kids. Bring new unwrapped toys to CF Masonville Place.
All in support of the Salvation Army. We will be collecting donations November 21st to December 24th.
With all donations helping families right here in our community. Toy Mountain, supported by Gomez Appliances, London Bass Center, and UBC Built Local 1946.
Let's make this the best toy mountain ever. Visit ctvlondon.ca for more ways to donate.
Confusion today at the Assembly of First Nation Chiefs in Ottawa. Several federal ministers were scheduled to attend, but the session did not go as planned. With more on what transpired, here's Mike Lucatour.
The decision was made that some other ministers would come.
Tim Hodgson's office insists it was not his decision to not participate in the morning panel at the AFN Special Chiefs Assembly. Now, he did meet with BC chiefs over lunch in their separate caucus room, and they didn't hold back on how they feel about a potential pipeline to the West Coast.
Because of these governments that we were put in the poorhouse.
Our community's made it very clear that we're not going to tolerate it.
Okay, thank you. After the hour-long meeting, Hodgson insisted that any major projects like a pipeline can only be built with Indigenous consultation.
What we've said is if a proponent comes forward and they have a route, because there is no route today, then there will be discussions, and then people have a right to say what they believe, and that's their right.
Merle Alexander represents 2 coastal BC First Nations where a pipeline could end. He worries the government isn't listening.
I think he's sort of playing with the fact that there isn't yet a proponent and not dealing with the fact that, one, First Nations coastal First Nations have already said absolutely no to an oil pipeline.
BC's AFN regional chief was happy to host the minister, but is still against the Memorandum of Understanding between Alberta and Ottawa.
This MOU is a slap in the face of British Columbia. You know, they did this agreement without BC in mind.
Now, Hodgson says this is just the beginning of the conversation, and he has committed to visiting BC's Northwest Coast to speak with communities and chiefs in the near future. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
The Toronto Blue Jays dominated the Canadian news cycle as they came inches from a World Series title, and that was reflected in this year's Google Canada numbers, breaking down the top searches from 2025. John Venevalley-Rao reports.
When it comes to summing up the year that's gone by, what better to look at than the things Canadians Googled in 2025? And one subject came up more than any other: the Blue Jays, who gave us some of the year's most memorable moments, including this Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Grand Slam against New York. And in the category of news and events, these 2 words were the year's most looked up, followed by Canadian election results, Iran, LA fires, and the Charlie Kirk shooting. As for the person Googled the most, Mark Carney topped the list.
This was an election year, and Canadians were following the election every step of the way.
Serial killer Ed Gein came in second. He was the subject of a Netflix true crime series. When it comes to athletes, 4 of the top 5 Googled were Blue Jays, including rookie Trey Savage, and rounding out the list, Canadian tennis star Victoria Mboko, who at age 18 won the National Bank Open in Montreal. As for searches, starting with what, among the most popular were, what does elbows up mean? What time is the Jays game today? And what does 6-7 mean? A meme that caught on fast with kids and has no fixed meaning, part of its appeal. The top why questions: why is Canada Post on strike? Why did Trudeau resign? And why do baseball players spit? When it comes to the top searched word in pop culture, it was La Boo Boo, a line of plush toys that went viral, followed by Bianca Censori's Grammy dress.
My name is Happy Gilmore.
Well, the top searched movie was Happy Gilmore 2. And the most Googled song, Golden, from the animated musical K-pop Demon Hunters. A year that had its golden moments as we count down the final weeks to 2026. John Venevalley-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
Rejoining Rita Ismail now, live on location for us tonight. Rita, over to you.
Carlyle, we're live inside London Bath Centre here on Warncliffe, one of the locations where you can drop off a brand new toy. And of course, it is a partnership with Salvation Army, and they'll be delivering these toys to deserving children right across the community. Let's get right into the forecast. It has been a cold one out there today. Our high, -3, was actually reached overnight. Since then, we've tumbled down to -13 in the next couple of hours. And of course, factor in that wind chill. It has been bitterly cold out there at times feeling close to -16. Normal this time of year is 3 degrees. As you can see on our right now temperature, anywhere between -8 to -11. So this cold Arctic air not really letting up, but what is letting up are those strong winds over Lake Huron. You can see the flurries are starting to taper off. We'll be under a few cloud cover tonight, a bit of clouds, and then heading into the night, we are expecting the winds to shift. They'll be out of the southwest. That'll create the opportunity for some lake effect flurries off of Lake Erie throughout Elgin County into Chatham Kent as well. And then heading into tomorrow, we'll wake up. The story for tomorrow will be the cold air yet again. Good news though, the winds will not be as strong or out of the northwest, which means we're not anticipating flurries for the forecast tomorrow under a mix of sun and cloud to mostly cloudy conditions. We're tracking the next weather maker, a low pressure system that will swing through late day tomorrow, overnight into Saturday morning. Not packing a lot in the way of snowfall, but again, the air mass in behind it will be cold. And those winds will kick up again out of the northwest. That means flurries in store for the weekend. And tonight, again, we are seeing those flurries taper off. The temperature dropping to -13 by midnight. The winds will shift out of the southwest. And tomorrow morning, if you're up bright and early and heading out the door, it will feel like -18. So you will certainly need to bundle up. Let's plan your Friday for you. Dry, cold air mass in play for tomorrow. We will see that sun peek through in the morning into the afternoon, and then the cloud cover will increase later on. We're expecting to hit -4 tomorrow and still feel like -10. So we are sitting below seasonal, which again is 3 degrees this time of year. Heading into Saturday morning, that system should push out but create the chance for some lake effect flurries throughout your afternoon on Saturday. The temperature -1, and believe it or not, that will feel milder than what we're dealing with today and yesterday. And then Sunday, the chance for flurries is there, but the probability on the lower end. Overnight, though, very cold for the next 4 to 5 days, especially Monday as conditions clear. We wake up to sunshine Monday morning, -6. That's our daytime high, and to get there, we'll have to tumble down to -13, so much like today. Heading into Tuesday, lake effect, snow will push through, and that's system snow. So it will accumulate Tuesday overnight into Wednesday, and the chance for flurries is there again Wednesday. Mix of sun and cloud on Thursday. Midwestern Ontario, you will have a bit of a break from those lake effect flurries and snow squalls. I know parts along the eastern shore of Lake Huron have picked up a good amount of snow the last couple of days, so a break for you tomorrow, and then Saturday it all returns early Saturday morning as that clipper swings through. Temperatures struggling, remaining below the freezing mark, and then dropping to -16 Monday morning. That sunshine will not warm you up on Monday, and then of course that system snow pushing in Tuesday into Wednesday, and then the chance of flurries will set up for Thursday. Again, we're live inside of London Bath Centre here on Warncliffe Road, one of the locations where you can drop off some toys. And of course, they've actually donated $1,500. And if you'd like to donate, you can do so online at toymountain.ca. Every little bit helps. Carlyle, especially this time of year, this will help give a lot of children who are in need a gift to open this holiday season.
All right, Rita, thanks very much. Later on CTV News, the local housing market as we head into the holidays. We break down the recent trends and look ahead to next year's expectations.
Hope to see you tomorrow morning at Masonville for Toy Mountain.
It's all in support of Salvation Army. We'll be there from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. See you there.
The Auburn Group Magic of Lights, powered by Liuna Local 1059, is back for the holidays at Fanshawe Conservation Area until January 3rd. Travel through a route of holiday lights and displays, great for the whole family. Enter online at ctvlondon.ca for your chance to win a vehicle pass.
Local home sales are sluggish according to the latest real estate figures. According to the London St. Thomas Realtors Association November report, sales were down nearly 20% compared to the same time last year, down to 492 from 600. Year-to-date sales this year are down about 5% compared to 2024 as well. Elstar officials say tariff-related economic concerns are stalling the market, which could pick up with accelerated new home building and recent price drops.
We are in a buyer's market now, right? Prices have actually dropped from about $650 average in L-Star area down to $605 in the last 3-4 months. So that's $45,000 drop in a short amount of time, right? And couple that with some lower interest rates as well.
Advocacy groups for small landlords say change is necessary in Ontario's rental system. They say the process to evict problematic tenants is too burdensome and is abused. Pat Foran reports.
There were protests at Queen's Park when Bill 60 was passed, concerns that landlords would be given new powers to evict tenants. The government says it's about fairness for all involved.
We're creating balance in the landlord-tenant system.
I've been trying to get them out. I've been trying to move back for a while.
Priscilla Addo owns a house in Whitby but had to move out following a separation. The single mother now rents but wants to move back into her home. She says the tenants are often late with the rent and have delayed her case with the Landlord and Tenant Board for almost 2 years.
I should have the right to move back home, and the Landlord-tenant Board should not have control over something that I worked so hard. To purchase.
She gets to stay, and I have no rights to my property.
Sylvia Vago owns a condo in Toronto. Her parents are retired and were going to move into it, but the current tenant is refusing to move out. The case has been before the Landlord and Tenant Board for a year and a half. The tenant says she will only move out if Vago gives her $25,000.
Like $25,000 is not an amount that is reasonable at all, and I cannot have access to it back until she decides that she wants to move out.
I think Bill 60 is a small step in leveling the playing field.
Solo is a group that advocates for 8,500 small landlords in Ontario. It says the changes will help reduce waiting times to get cases heard faster before the board.
Right now, for me to ask somebody to leave because they're not paying rent, it will take me 10 months. And that's under the new rules. Before, it would take me 2 years.
Small landlords say if they need their property back, it should happen in a reasonable amount of time without the threat of cash for keys.
If I had the opportunity to do this again, I would never rent out my property. I would never be a landlord.
I feel like, it's not fair that me and my children, do we have to become homeless? Do we have to go into a shelter? Because I'm getting evicted now.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Canada's main stock index was up on strength in the financial sector. The TSX gained 317 points in New York. The Dow fell 32. The Nasdaq added 51. The Canadian dollar took a modest loss, 0.02 cents. On commodity markets, gold gained more than $10 an ounce. Oil is up 72 cents a barrel. Still ahead, an emergency update. The new 911 technology going into service in Chatham, Kent, and the expected impact. Welcome back. Leaders with various local organizations are voicing concerns over Bill C-9, which would amend the criminal code and how it deals with hate speech.
Bill C-9 undermines key legal protections that have long helped prevent discriminatory or politically motivated prosecutions. Under current law, hate propaganda charges require the consent of a provincial attorney general, a safeguard meant to ensure fairness, consistency, and oversight. Bill C-9 removes this protection. Even though Parliament is now scrambling to reconsider it, the intent is clear: to give police greater unchecked discretion and to lower the threshold for criminalizing speech.
Members of London's Palestinian community say they want the government to withdraw the bill, suggesting it will have negative implications for democratic freedoms, protest rights, and civil liberties. However, officials with Jewish London say they support the bill. In a statement, they say it provides real protection while fully respecting free expression, and they encourage parliamentarians of all parties to work together to deliver a balanced approach that keeps communities safe. The federal government is sending out letters about its planned early retirement program to thousands of employees in efforts to reduce the public service workforce. Roughly 68,000 public servants are expected to receive the letters if they're potentially eligible for the program. The federal government has set a target of 40,000 job cuts from as many as 368,000 workers as of last year. Government officials say they're trying to avoid cutting younger workers through attrition, offering a voluntary program to allow senior workers to retire early without a pension penalty. The leader of British Columbia's Conservative Party has been removed from his position in the face of party pushback against his leadership.
I'm not planning to step aside at this point. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. I'm moving forward as the leader of the Conservative Party of British Columbia.
John Rustad made those comments after a party lawyer sent him a letter indicating more than half the Conservative caucus signed letters asking him to step down. The BC Conservative Board of Directors also passed a motion deeming Rustad professionally incapacitated. After initially refusing to resign, Rustad relented today and announced he would step down.
Welcome to this week's London List. I'm Rita Ismail, and I'm joined by KP from Virgin Mornings. Now, KP, 3 weeks to go until Christmas. Let's kick things off with all the holiday happenings.
We are building a massive toy mountain in support of the Salvation Army. This is huge. We do this every year, but we're going to be broadcasting actually live on Friday from CF Masonville Place in the center court where they have the big tree. They've got this little Santa's workshop where all of the toys will be stacked into a massive mountain. So please come on down, drop off any new toys still in its package. Anything from teddy bears to makeup kits and sporting goods. Like really, it's from baby all the way to late teenagehood. So definitely consider donating, and it's just a really fantastic cause.
It really is, and I'll be down there between 6 and 7 on Friday, live with the forecast as well. So come on down and drop off a gift. Now, Santa is coming to town again. Several locations this weekend.
He's a busy guy. I'm like, whew, okay, he's gonna need to get some Gatorade in him. Friday, Clinton, and he's also in, I believe, Blenheim.
Yes, and Argyle Mall.
Argyle Mall Saturday. So that's the Argyle BIA huge parade in East London. That's going to be so fun. Lucan is on Saturday as well, along with a handful of others, I believe Petrolia too. And on Sunday, we have one in Stratford too. It's just going to be a whole lot of fun.
It will be. The kids absolutely love the Santa Claus parade. And of course, with the time ticking to Christmas, you got to get your holiday shopping done. And we have a market.
We do. This is one of my personal favorites. It actually runs so today until Sunday, every day at the JR Expo, so formerly known as the Western Fair Agriplex. It is a massive show. Over 230 vendors there, all artisans selling one-of-a-kind unique pieces. The food there is so good too. You can get all of your Christmas baking done, pop it in the freezer, and you're good to go. And just pretend like you baked it. It's great.
Sounds like a great idea.
It's awesome.
I love it. And finally, in terms of our Christmas lineup, we have Magic of Lights.
It is absolutely stunning. It's at Fanshawe Conservation Area, and it's a huge drive-through light display. So think millions of lights, and they have every type of theme. They've got all sorts of prehistoric Christmas with dinosaurs and Barbie, and it's very, very cool. My kids absolutely love it, so you need to go and check that out. We actually have a special Virgin Radio night happening on Tuesday the 9th. You bring a new toy for Toy Mountain. It goes, again, to support the Salvation Army, and we give you a Taylor Swift-inspired friendship bracelet, since it will be our Taylor Swift theme night.
I love it. Yeah. All Taylor Swift music while you drive through.
Playlist,
How
right?
fun.
So fun.
And finally, the London Knights are in town.
They are. So Friday, bust out the green. They're taking on the Windsor Spitfires, and puck drops for that at 7 o'clock at Canada Life Place.
Awesome. Thanks so much, KP. That's it for this week's London List.
Tomorrow on CTV News, kicking off the festive season in the Forest City, we'll have live coverage from Victoria Park for the 2025 lighting of the lights. That's tomorrow on CTV News at 6.
Tonight's weather snapshot sent in from our viewer Ron. A beautiful photo. You could really feel the cold Arctic air over Lake Huron under the clear blue skies. Thanks so much for sharing, Ron. Blustery winds expected to ease later this evening, but our temperatures will tumble to an overnight low of -14, feeling like -20. A nice sun cloud mix for your Friday, though, with the cold air mass still in place. The high only -4. The chance of flurries returns both Saturday and Sunday.
The municipality of Chatham-Kent has launched next-generation 911 technology, considered a major upgrade from previous emergency response methods. With more on the new system and the difference officials hope it will make, here's Chris Campbell.
Next Generation 911, known as NG 911, is a major upgrade to how emergency calls are handled in Chatham-Kent.
I mean, for us, fire, EMS, the seconds
is all that matters.
The new system allows police, fire, and paramedics to receive real-time digital information from callers, including more precise location data, helping responders get to emergencies faster.
Almost 80 to 85% of the calls we receive are all cell phones. So having that information, not only about the caller, but their location, is key in how we now dispatch and send out those emergency services to those locations.
We take all the information the dispatchers are getting us, and we're already formulating that plan. So when these crews arrive on scene, they know exactly that hydrant that they're going to grab. They know the tactical position that they're going to take to fight this incident with the resources that they have.
For paramedics, that same data can mean beginning life-saving decisions before an ambulance even arrives on scene.
As of right now, we just get basic information. With texting and video that's going to come down in 27, we might be able to get a whole picture, which will definitely improve our response times and improve our responses medically for those patients.
The transition has been supported by nearly $4 million in provincial funding as Ontario modernizes emergency communications across the province. Municipal leaders stress the upgrade does not change how residents call for help, but what happens behind the scenes once that call is made. Eventually, dispatchers will be able to receive pictures and videos as 911 calls come in, a double-edged sword, says Police Chief Kirk Early.
Our communication operators are going to see more traumatic events once we flip over to the D2 side of things when we're getting videos and pictures. The fact that we're aware of it means now we can plan for it. And now we can prepare them, and well-being of our members is our #1 priority.
They say the goal is simple: clearer information, faster responses, and better outcomes when every second matters.
Public safety is #1.
In Chatham, Chris Campbell, CTV News.
FBI agents have reportedly arrested a suspect connected to pipe bombs found during the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. The pipe bombs were placed at key sites around Washington, including Democratic and Republican Party headquarters, seemingly the night before Donald Trump's supporters stormed the Capitol. Those bombs were defused and no one was hurt. According to a Reuters report, suspect Brian Cole Jr. was arrested in Virginia today, but few other details have been shared. Meanwhile, a top U.S. naval commander was expected to answer questions from congressional representatives over American military strikes on boats in the Caribbean Sea. The U.S. Defense Secretary has said Admiral Frank Bradley ordered a second strike on a Venezuelan boat which was suspected of carrying narcotics. The Washington Post reported Admiral Bradley ordered the attack on 2 survivors, complying with a directive from the Defense Secretary to, quote, kill everybody. 9 people were killed in the September military strike. A second strike was ordered on 2 survivors who appeared to be clinging to debris. Accusations are flying between Israel and Palestine over apparent ceasefire violations. Relatives gathered today mourning Palestinians killed in an Israeli strike yesterday. Israeli officials say they were targeting a Hamas militant. Meanwhile, those officials have also confirmed remains returned by Hamas yesterday were from a Thai national who was captured the day after the October 6th attacks. It's believed he's the second last hostage whose remains are still in Gaza. Russian forces launched overnight strikes on a Ukrainian port city, injuring 6 people. According to Ukrainian officials, Russia fired 2 ballistic missiles and 138 drones in this latest attack. And European leaders are reportedly becoming more distrustful of the United States when it comes to peace negotiations between Russia and Ukraine. A German newspaper has published notes from a phone call between European leaders and the Ukrainian president. During the conversation, French President Emmanuel Macron reportedly warning others on the call that the U.S. could betray Ukraine and the rest of Europe. According to the notes, Germany's chancellor told Ukraine's president he must be very careful in the coming days, suggesting the Americans are playing games with Ukrainian and European leaders.
I'm Sherry Flick, host of Weekend Spotlight. This Saturday, we have Nuts for Cheese coming in to talk about their amazing story of success. Tech Alliance talking about the great tech industry that has been growing phenomenally here in London. Highland Cinemas has all kinds of great movies and events planned for the Christmas season. And London Community Foundation has been quietly doing amazing things. We'll find out more about that. That's 8 a.m. Saturday morning.
Welcome back. A special moment at Canada Life Place last night as the London Knights hosted the Kitchener Rangers for their annual teddy bear toss.
Chance for Fox, shoots, he scores!
Knights fan club members had secured roughly 6,000 teddy bears beforehand, and according to the Knights' social media, more than 20,000 plushies were collected last night, and that beats the 16,000 last year. And finally tonight, a young boy in BC and his gift for spreading joy. He's just 4 years old, but as Adam Sawatsky reports, he's built a profound connection with someone many years his senior.
Well, he's not faster than a speeding bullet, nor more powerful than a locomotive. This 4-year-old is proving to be a superhero.
Dynamo.
A super name.
Dynamo, yeah.
Whose not-so-secret identity is Innes Wright.
Are we done yet? Are we done yet?
A boy who, rather than talk about his abilities,
Let's be done, okay?
would prefer to show how he can escape the confines of a sit-down interview with ease.
Okay, bye.
But before Innes demonstrates his true power, his granny, Joan Wright, reveals the Dynamo's origin story.
So we came here and they...
While Innes attempts to fix the camera, Joan says she first brought her grandson to this care home for a friend's 80th birthday party, where the boy met Don Monroe, pushing his wife Nancy in a wheelchair.
And he just muscled me aside and says, I want to do it.
So Don let him.
Oh, I thought it was great.
Never imagining where the boy would ultimately lead them.
He bonded with her instantly. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, they certainly never expected for Innes to ask to visit again and again. And now, after almost 8 months of visiting weekly and participating in all sorts of activities with the seniors, to show his exuberance can't be contained.
And he just bursts in here and leaps into her arms. It lights up her day when he comes.
And she smiles the sort of smile that seemed so ever-present in those years since they'd vowed in sickness and in health, until a recent series of setbacks made that smile increasingly elusive. So, you can imagine how grateful Don feels.
We just love him to pieces.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Duncan.
That's it for us. Thanks for watching. For your latest local headlines, you can always head to our website. For all of us at CTV News London, I'm Carlyle Fiset. Have a good night.